Hello, Patrick Lilly here with InsideWestVillageNYC.com, and we are at a really special store in the West Village, the End of History on Hudson between Perry and Charles, yes?
That's right.
And we're with the owner, Steven Saunders. So, yes. Steven, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
For having us in your incredibly beautiful and special store.
Thank you.
So many of these items I grew up with in my house, or my Aunt Audrey's house.
Right.
And to see them elevated to the level of true art, which they are, is really, it's exciting for me to be here and witness this.
Thank you. We started 16 years ago by collecting things that have been largely forgotten. There was a time in the 1950s and 60s when everything was imported from Europe, you know, not like it is now, everything's made in China. The dollar was stronger then, and American department stores were full of gorgeous glass and ceramics from Italy, Scandinavia, which is what we mostly specialize in.
How did you get into selling this type of item?
Well, I've always been obsessed with collecting vases, and I started with my family's antique business in England. I was going around the flea markets 20 years ago, and I found a piece of Murano glass that had a 1950s price tag on that said $350. And it was at a time when minimalism was ruling. It was not allowed to have vases. And so I opened a shop and said, hey everybody, vases are back.
Steven, why don't you point out a few things for us?
Well, let's start here with some of the things that we're best known for, which is studio ceramics from Scandinavia, which mostly means for us Denmark and Sweden, although we do have some pieces from Finland as well. These pieces are largely by companies that are well known in Sweden, like Råstrand, which is kind of the Wedgwood of Sweden, but we don't sell like the dinner plates, the coffee pots. We sell only the vases that were made for special exhibitions by the artistic directors of these companies.
These over-the-top, George Jetson, out-of-the-world lamps. Tell me about them. They're pretty fabulous.
Well, they're by a designer from the 1950s called Rupert Nickel from Vienna, Austria. They're gold-plated with Austrian crystals, and the wonderful thing about this pair of lamps is they were discovered in the back of a shop in Austria, so they were never used. They're what we call dead stock. So they're old, but they're never used. So they date from the late 50s.
How did you get a hold of them?
One of my secret contacts in Vienna.
Well, Steven, thank you for having us by.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It really was
thank you.
Lovely, and it's such a special place.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Until next time.